The beacon of kindness. Max Berger had been a dedicated employee at Novatec Corporation for over a decade. In a world where efficiency and strict adherence to corporate rules were valued above all else, Max maintained an unwavering commitment not only to his work, but also to his core belief in human compassion. Every morning as he commuted to the office in the biting winter cold, he steeled himself for the day ahead, unaware that a simple act of kindness would soon alter his destiny. On one particularly frosty morning, as Max hurried along the busy sidewalk, he noticed an elderly man huddled on a bench. The man, dressed in tattered clothes and shivering from the cold, exuded an air of deep sorrow and abandonment. Despite the bustle of the city, his presence was nearly invisible to passers-by. Moved by concern, Max paused and approached him. "Good morning," Max said softly. "Are you all right? Is there any way I can help?" The old man, who introduced himself as Mr. Muller, revealed that he had recently lost his home and was struggling to survive after a cascade of misfortunes had upended his life. With genuine empathy, Max quickly decided that he could not walk past without offering assistance. He purchased a warm scarf, a cup of hot coffee, and a modest meal from a nearby vendor. Max then sat beside Mr. Muller, sharing not only the refreshments, but also a few comforting words. The grateful glimmer in Mr. Muller's eyes affirmed that this small act of kindness had brought a much-needed spark of hope. However, what Max saw as a noble gesture did not escape the notice of his company. Later that day, his immediate supervisor, Mr. Schroeder, summoned him to the office. Known for his uncompromising adherence to corporate protocols, Schroeder disapproved of any deviation from strict work-related tasks. "Max," he began in a stern tone, "I have been informed about your actions this morning. While your intentions may have been commendable on a personal level, you have clearly violated company policy by involving yourself in personal matters during work hours." Despite Max's explanation that his actions were a spontaneous act of human decency, Schroeder remained unmoved. Consequently, Max received a formal written reprimand, a decision that struck him hard, as he had always prided himself on both his professionalism and his integrity. News of the reprimand quickly circulated through the office. Some colleagues expressed sympathy, admiring Max's willingness to help someone in need, while others sided with the strict enforcement of company rules. Though disappointed by the punitive response, Max's belief in doing what was right remained steadfast. He began to reflect on whether the unyielding standards of corporate life had overshadowed the true meaning of compassion. A few weeks later, a new chapter unfolded at Novatec Corporation. The board announced the appointment of Mr. Faber as the new general manager, a leader celebrated for his progressive outlook and his commitment to creating a supportive work environment. During one of his inaugural team meetings, Mr. Faber recounted various instances of unrecognized kindness within the company. When the story of Max's encounter with Mr. Muller was mentioned, Mr. Faber's eyes lit up. "True leadership," he declared, "is measured not only by our performance metrics, but also by the care we show for one another." Deeply impressed by Max's empathy and courage, Mr. Faber initiated a company-wide program focused on social responsibility and community outreach. Recognizing the latent potential in Max, he appointed him as the head of this new initiative, a decision that was met with surprise and admiration throughout the organization. In his new role, Max was given the freedom to design projects that bridge the gap between corporate success and community well-being. His innovative programs included regular volunteer activities, charity drives, and partnerships with local social services. Over time, these efforts helped transform the company's culture from one dominated by strict efficiency to one enriched by inclusive and heartfelt engagement. Max's transformation from a quietly dedicated employee to a trailblazer for corporate social responsibility, not only reshaped his own career, but also inspired his colleagues to look beyond rigid professional boundaries. His journey taught everyone at Novatec that the heart's contributions can be as valuable as any financial metric. In the end, what began as an act that risked disciplinary action turned into a beacon of hope, a shining example that even in the most structured environments, a single act of compassion can spark transformative change.